everybody, this is me. I'm Jen. This is Raising Phoenix. I just thought we'd go for a little bit of a walk and talk. I did go for a walk this morning, but I'm also feeling like I want to walk just a little bit more today. So I'm taking a stroll through my neighborhood, and we're just going to chit chat. And maybe you'll learn a little bit more backstory about me. In this beautiful neighborhood I live in. I've lived here for about 2 years. I live on Tampa Bay, and it's a peaceful neighborhood. That's why I like it the most. It's quiet, and the neighbors make an effort to get to know each other. There's a really beautiful songbird. Got a really beautiful song. So I think I did mention in one of my other videos that I am in the mindset that I need to get healthier. And my body has been giving me signals lately that the time is now. And I just want to tell you what happened to me the other day at work. So I do have a sedentary job. I just noticed my gimbal was facing the wrong way, which makes it very hard to control. Health journey. I had a scary episode at work the other day, and sprinkler. I do have a sedentary job. I am a receptionist. So unless I consciously make the effort to get up and walk around, one of my colleagues always asks me, why don't you just page the doctor? Why do you get up and go to the doctor's office? And I know why. It's because I know I need all the steps I can get during the day. So any excuse to get up out of my chair is a good one to me. And but the other day it's like 2 days ago, I was sitting in my chair at my desk, and I had the strangest feeling. It was like a sudden, intense headache at the back right part of my head. And it was so sudden and so strong that I instantly became nauseous. I mean, I thought I was gonna lose my breakfast. And all I could do was put my head down in my hands and wait for it to pass. And in that moment, I didn't care who walked in the door, Because normally I strive very hard to present myself as a comfort, as a confident caretaker for the clients that come through our door and their pets. And in this moment, I was so overcome by this horrible pain. I thought, what is this? I've never felt this before. And my hands began to shake. And for 1 second, just 1 second, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to speak, because when my colleagues saw me put my head in my hands, you know, I have a way of making fun of my health worries to put other people at ease. Mostly it's to put other people at ease. I'll joke about having very rare conditions, and it's kind of a back and forth joke between us. And she said, "Oh, what is it? Is your brain tumor acting up again?" And I didn't answer her because, one, the pain was so intense. I was afraid if I opened my mouth, I was going to throw up. And two, I was afraid that if I opened my mouth and tried to speak, that nothing but gibberish would come out. And I didn't want to hear that. One of the hazards of having a medical background, I was a registered nurse for 7 years, and I was a psychiatric nurse for that time. Regardless whether I was a, medical heavy or mental health nurse, I was still trained to know the signs of a stroke, know the signs of a heart attack. And so having that knowledge, I knew full well that what the possibilities were in front of me. And as soon as I thought that might be a possibility happening, I felt a warmth spreading right where the pain had started. I felt a warmth spreading from that pain point. And it was the weirdest sensation. It was like somebody was pouring warm syrup, like that kind of consistency, slowly spreading over the back of my head. And about a minute after that, the pain transferred to the front left side of my head. And about 30 seconds after that, that warm warmth spreading in the same pain spot. So, and then another wave of nausea. Now I've suffered from migraines in the past. I haven't had one in a really long time. But this was not like any migraine I had ever had. My migraines usually are like a circumference around my head, like a squeezing, and I usually get like light auras before they get real bad. So I'll see like halos around light sources. And that's like right before they get too bad. And I used to take prescription medication for those. So after I still felt, the pain subsided within about 10 minutes, but I still felt somewhat nauseous, and I still felt like shaky, like real shaky. And I stuck it out at work. I stayed. And after I ate my lunch, I did feel quite a bit better. But it really scared me. Full disclosure, I am currently 5'8", 5'7.5", 5'8", and I am 100 pounds heavier than I should be. I currently weigh 241. Now, for most of my adult life, including up until the time I got pregnant with my daughter at 39, I weighed like 140, between 145 and 150 my whole life, excluding my pregnancies, obviously. For each pregnancy, I gained a little bit more for each pregnancy, and it did take me a little bit longer to get it off. After each pregnancy, when I went in to have my daughter, I weighed 206, and that was the most I had ever weighed 9 months pregnant. All 3 of my children were full term, and I was like so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable that I just was miserable, you guys. I thought, oh, I don't ever want to feel like this again. And I did know that was going to be my last pregnancy. The obstetrician that delivered my daughter also performed a tubulectomy on me. So I was really excited to be able to go back home with my daughter and work on my physique, because I just felt really crappy at that weight. And I know a lot of it, you know, pregnancy, water weight, you're eating for 2, all that, blah, blah. And I did eat healthy for all 3 of my pregnancies, but for whatever reason, I think because of my age, I was 40 when I had her. Whew, trees. And anyways, I got back down to like 172 after I had my daughter. That was about 6 months after I had her. And I was starting to feel like myself again. And I'm so sorry. I just ate before I went on this walk, you guys. It was a really good dinner though, but I had ground chicken patty and some sweet potato fries. And that's another thing, guys. I eat healthy. You know, I don't eat out. We don't eat fast food. I'm not saying I've never eaten fast food. I have eaten fast food. I've eaten a lot of fast food in my 20s, even into my 30s. But as I've grown older, I realized that my body just can't tolerate it. I get horrible heartburn, things like that. So I've slowly, you know, weaned myself out of that. Yeah, there's a just a random shopping cart on the sidewalk. So I don't know. I'm figuring maybe somebody belongs to that shopping cart. So we're just gonna turn around and start going the other way. Anyways, yeah. So I eat healthy. I love fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean meats. That's how I eat. And I cook all my meals. I cook all my meals. We don't eat, we don't even eat crap in the house, you know. We don't eat sugar cereal. We don't eat cakes and cookies and donuts. If we want something sweet, we make, you know, yogurt with fruit, honey mixed in, just for an example. So it was really frustrating for me when at 172, my weight loss just stopped. And I was walking every day, twice a day, with my baby, pushing a stroller. And it just didn't make sense to me. And then about that time, because my daughter was born in the spring, so about that time, same time that my weight plateaued, winter started to set in. And I walked as long as I could every day in the winter, but I also have a autoimmune disease that affects the circulation in my hands and feet. And along with that, a serious circulation issue called Raynaud's syndrome. And that's where the circulation in my fingers and toes specifically would just stop if they got too cold. And they would turn white or blue. And then I would have to hurry like Dickens to get them warmed up. And that usually meant putting them in warm water. So that was a big catalyst for us to move down south as well, other than it's a beautiful place to live, was for me the warm weather, to help with my autoimmune disease and everything that's involved with that. So I thought, you know, right about that time also is when I started planning to move down here. I thought, great, I'll have the weather I need all year long to continue to exercise. And obviously, my exercise of choice is walking. I also like to lift weights, light weights, you know, not like not like the weights that you lift up over your head with like the belt on and everything. So I was really excited for that. And, you know, I don't know if it was the stress of finally, you know, realizing my dream of living in Florida or being down here all alone without family. I'm sure it was a combination of things. But the 172 that I started off at slowly started to creep back up. And since then, in the past 4 or 5 years, I went from 172 to my current weight, 241. And keep in mind, honestly, guys, I have not changed my eating habits at all. My theory is not so much a theory, more like a I know my body type thing, is that I am in perimenopause. I'm now 48 years old. My hormones are beginning to fluctuate at this age. And I remember when I think back to my mom trying to lose weight at this age, she would tell me, Jen, I know I don't eat a lot. But honestly, I cannot lose weight unless I stay at like 1,200 calories, which is like nothing, you guys. 1,200 calories is very, very little. And I thought, I don't know, Mom. I think that's not enough, you know. But she was losing weight and she started looking really good. She was putting jeans back on again. She was looking good, you know. But in my young, naive mom with all my hormones still coursing through my body, I thought, I don't know, I think she's like starving herself, you know. But it's a battle. It is a battle. Like I had tried that, what's it called? Oh, what app is it? Fitness Pal, I think. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, My Fitness Pal. That's what it is. And you put your weight in, and you put your age in, and you put your activity level in, and it tells you how many calories. Oh, and you put in how fast you want to lose weight. So basically, like if you want to lose a pound a week, pound and a half a week, 2 pounds a week, and it tells you, it basically gives you your calorie deficit according to your goals. So it'll give you how many calories to eat every day. And it was telling me like 2,100 calories a day. And I did that for 6 weeks. I didn't lose anything. I think I lost 2 pounds. 2 pounds in 6 weeks. That ain't it, guys. So I finagled with the program a little bit, and I set my own calorie intake according to my goals. Still putting in all the same stats, my height, my weight, my age, to 1,800 calories. And that was pretty doable, you know. What it did was it just forced me to choose my calories wiser. That's all. If I wanted to have a Snickers as a treat, I mean, that just meant that I was going to have to have no fries with my dinner, and just have a double helping of broccoli or whatever. So it did teach me how to balance my diet. But again, even with that lowered calorie, daily calorie intake limit, I still, and I did that for 6 weeks as well. And the reason I chose 6 weeks, guys, is because as a woman, our body is constantly changing, right? So it takes 4 weeks to go through the full menstrual cycle, and another 2 weeks to gauge off of that. So the 6 weeks is a full picture of the cycle that my body goes through on a constant basis. Okay, so that's why 6 weeks. But after the second 6 weeks, with only 1,800 calories allowed a day, I only lost another 5 pounds in 6 weeks. That still ain't it. And another, like, just tidbit, I only drink water. Well, I have 1 cup of coffee in the morning. I only drink water. Sometimes plain, sometimes I'll put like those water flavor drops in there, or powder. But that's it. I don't drink soda. Oh, I will have like LaCroix. LaCroix, I love LaCroix if I want that like carbonated feeling, but that's it. And there's no calories in those. And so I feel like diet-wise, I mean, I'm doing everything that I can, even my portion sizes. I don't use big plates. I don't use big bowls. I use small bowls and small plates. And if it doesn't fit in there or on there, then it doesn't fit in me. And the twice daily walks. So the activity is what I need to step up on. So that's why we're walking and talking right now together. So I'm hoping if I'm just consistent every day with my walks and my diet, that the pounds will start to come off. Because that episode at work, you guys, I'm telling you, it scared the crap out of me. I mean, it just really did. It was a wake-up call for sure. And I have a small child. My daughter's only 8. My boys are grown, but my daughter's only 8 years old. And I want to see her. I waited so long, you guys, for a girl. You know, I love all my kids, okay? I love my boys. But I never thought I was going to have a girl, you know. Newsflash, my daughter was a surprise. I didn't plan on having a baby at 40. And someday you guys will hear that story too, I'm sure. But my daughter was a surprise. And she was the best surprise I ever had in my life, you know. And you can hear me now struggling to breathe. You guys, I used to run 3 miles a day. All up into my mid-30s, I ran 3 miles a day. If not every day, every other day. This is just so disheartening to be going at a regular walking pace and be out of breath. But like I said, wake up call. So, anyways, I want to be there when my daughter gets married to whoever she marries. I don't care if it's a man, woman, whoever she decides to marry, I want to be there. I want to be there to see that. And I'm going to be there to see that. I want to see her walk down the aisle. I want to give her away. And I want to hold grandkids one day, you know. I want to have grandbabies. But I'm not going to see any of that if I don't get my shit together. So, not only is this social media, I also have an account on another platform in addition to here on YouTube, but not only is this social media vlogging a new part of myself that I'm sharing with the world, but let's say a year from now, I hope to be sharing a new me with the world, putting my best foot forward, so to speak. And we're almost home. That was just a quick after dinner, ease the digestion walk. And if you made it this far in the vlog, and I hope you enjoyed the little bit of footage that I stuck in there at the beginning of this video. That is the lake that I live on. I don't live on it. I'm adjacent. It's in my neighborhood. But I love to hang out there. Look at all the birds. But if you made it this far in the video, man, I really appreciate you. And I would be so flattered if you would give me a like, if you would give me a share, a comment. A comment would be wonderful. I would love to interact with anybody who's watched this video all the way through. And subscribe to follow my journey. Thanks, guys. Bye.